dungeons in the Dark World, in Skullwoods, you normally need a sword to slash through some vines. Those vines will be eliminated. Other enemies will be, such as Ganon, can be damaged by the hammer. And there's a lot of other little changes too, which we'll explain as we go.
Yeah, essentially the hammer just replaces the sword in situations where you would normally need a sword.
So the first thing our runners are going to be doing is looking for a hammer, and we are off. So everyone starting in Link's house, this is a standard opening.
We're
And
doing standard swordless? Okay.
well, looks that way, but we get a moon pearl right away, so that's interesting. It won't help us for a little while, but at the very least, Dark World access is decent. And we got our first check of our map today. Got crystals in Hera and Desert, and the green pendant, a vanilla green pendant in Eastern.
And we have the bomb start today. This is exciting. Everybody loves the bomb start. It's by far the best start.
Absolutely. So the bomb start it'll allow us to access the treasures at the back of Escape, but it's going to really stink for trying to kill people. And that's where we're going to have the, I guess, least amount of fun would be the best way to put it.
I actually genuinely love the bomb start. This is by far my favorite start to play and watch. There's some really cool strats you can use to quick kill these guards that they have to kill with bombs. And I mean, the best part of the bomb start is that you just have bombs. You don't have to worry about the back of Escape. No farming enemies. So it's going to be all execution going forward through the Escape here.
Let's take a look at what we're getting. We're just getting little bits of rupees here and there. Nothing too valuable for progression just yet, but again, we are super early. So we got 3 out of the 4 runners in the purple side of the palace. Link to the past Ken just making his way out of the gold top floor, going down to where the interior designers ran out of gold paint. Meanwhile, we got Dracaris, the first one heading into the lower part, using those bomb strats. Well timed, taking care of that guard nice and quick.
Yeah, it's become very apparent which of these runners have practiced doing the bomb start before, which have not.
And sadly, Swagnet not terribly useful at this time because we're not fighting Aghanim yet.
Although an interesting thing about Swordless is that, unlike in an open or standard state where you have randomized swords, or Uncle's Shirt, the Bugnet actually has value when it comes to progression. The Bugnet can be required to do that.
And we'll know when we get a sword place where a sword would normally be when you see 20 rupee, but there's 20 green rupees in a chest instead of the single red. So that will be where we know where our swords would have been had we been nicer to our runners today. A little bit early for Aga Dip consideration, but we will find out probably soon enough. It won't take us too long. And well, we got Ken just taking care of the Zelda rescue, but we got the other 3 runners making their way pretty quick as they can, getting ready to do the back of Escape. Now, also with a standard race like this, we don't have the lamp yet. So, Koi, how do we see in the dark?
Zelda can actually shine light from her aura. She is so pure, so perfect, that light just comes off of her at all times.
We could also say it was programmed to have a light source, but I always like that explanation better. A little more creativity.
Always kiss Zelda in the Sanctuary, guys. If you kiss the old man, you are wrong.
Hey, that old man needs love every now and again too, you know.
/ disagree.
Anyway, we got Dracaris heading down the back of Escape. Probably not going to be doing that much in the way of farming. They've got the bombs that they need. A little low on rupees for some of the Kakariko check, but overall not too bad. Meanwhile, we got our useless castle taco. So that means that the remaining 3 chests that are going to be at the back of Escape, plus the Sanctuary chest, should all be at least of interest here.
Yeah, we'll definitely get 3 item locations. Although it's probably 20 rupees. 20 rupees and a piece of heart.
Oh, we should be so lucky. That sounds like my hype cave. But we'll make fun of hype cave later on in the run. Right now, let's take a look what we get in the back. We get Titans. Wow. Wow.
I meant 20 rupees, and the Titan Smiths, of course.
Which
made
is
a mistake.
Wow, that's a find and a half. That's Dark World access before we've even left the castle. Sorry, everybody. Doesn't look like Aga's gonna be showing up, at least Aga 1.
There are still other reasons they could be forced to do Aga 1, such as Lumberjack.
Oh,
or
that's
logical
true.
East Dark World access.
That's true. That's true.
And Pyramid Fairy.
That's true. That's true. There are other reasons. Allow me to be hopeful, though. Just for the sake of the runners. I mean, I love watching an Agassi. So meanwhile, we get Dracaris heading out, opting not to bother checking Lumberjack Ledge. So hopefully one of our other runners will let us know whether this is an Agassi.
Yeah, it's pretty common routing to skip the Lumberjack Ledge until you can actually grab it, or at least have the boots that are back in the area.
Fair enough. Meanwhile, inside the Lost Woods, we just get a little bit of love. And in Mushroom Location, we are grabbing not much.
Rupee's definitely not the worst thing to find early. Like, we still have everything in the game to spend money on, and yet there's no telling where all those 300 rupee drops are going to be.
True enough. I'm just thinking these runners are... Wow, Chloe even just noping that piece of heart, just saying, forget it, not even worth my time. You know, it looks like on Caladrius' stream, we're going to be getting a Lumberjack check, so we will get rid of one of our Aga 1 checks. They do it so quickly, it'll be tough, but just a heart container, so that kills that.
We're really hoping to find a weapon of some kind here soon. Bombs can only get you so far in the game. And
Oh, we got a fetch quest.
Mushroom and a boomerang.
Not much so far, game. Not helping us. But we got a lot of checks left in Kakariko here.
Mushroom.
All we need is a few badgers to go along with it, and we'll be just fine.
Snake.
And for those who don't get that reference, that's
I don't even get that reference.
You don't know the Badger Mushroom song?
Somebody linked it to me once, and I'm like, okay, you enjoy it, so I'll make a meme out of it. But I still don't understand.
There's nothing to understand. As a professional musician, I am disappointed. But we got Quake in the bottom of the well.
So in Swordless, they actually cannot cast medallions except in these very specific spots. So the only time they'll ever be able to cast Quake is to open the dungeons that require it. So no using Quake to kill pen gauges or anything like that.
You gotta do it the old-fashioned way. The way we used to like it. And spending $100 for a whole lot of love. And interesting, Dracaris opting not to bother doing any of the further checks at...
We're going straight to Dark World.
Wow, that's a bit of a risky play. But we can see we got a quick map check.
Like, he didn't even go down to look at the race game or anything, did he?
No, didn't check out back of Tavern, didn't check out Chicken Hut, nothing. Just opting straight in. So a chess game, we get a whole lot of nothing. Some blueberries at the back of the tavern. This is always fun to try to keep track of what's going on when we get this kind of race divergence. And going straight into Thieves Town. Holy good gravy. Dracaris with the absolutely crazy or 200 IQ move. We'll find out.
I mean, I really doubt he's going to go past the first 4 in Thieves Town, having, essentially no weapon whatsoever.
Now, I wasn't watching. Did you see on Chloe's screen the library check?
I did not see the library check. But the race game was just some arrows, I believe.
We've gotten 2 of the 4 frontside checks done at Thieves Town. We got Chloe getting ready to do the south side check. So Dracaris with the... Oh, we just found the small key. That could be problematic when it comes to that big chest here. We don't have a hammer, and that's where one of our swords would have been.
He should death warp from here. Yeah, there he goes.
Oh, goodness. So now we'll get that library check that we can all see. And just a lot of love, but nothing worth having. Because love isn't worth having, right? Right, Koi?
I feel like I shouldn't comment until I've had it at least once.
Aw, Chad, can we get some love for Koi, please? That just broke my heart. So we got a brewery check coming up. We got mini Moldorm Cave coming up. We got a lot of great checks coming up here. Whoa, wait a second.
Our first weapon, but it's not really the one you want to find.
The much more useless of the... Well, it's not that bad. It's not the useless one. And yes,
he has 2 shots with that fire rod available.
Better than a whole lot of nothing. We get some big money, but no big prizes for Chloe and Mini Moldorm. We got Dracaris heading to the dig game here. Unearthing a whole lot of nothing. We got Chloe doing the rest of the south check. Going to see what's going on in that ice rod cave.
Unfortunately, the fire rod does mean that I believe Motula is just straight up in logic just with the fire rod. I don't know. Maybe that's a logic account for a magic extension. If you
I don't think it does. I think it's just banking on you knowing what you're doing.
Well, because you have to spend magic to get to the back, and then you'd have to have a full bar of magic with the fire rod to kill Motula with it alone. It probably assumes you'd have a magic extension for the boss itself.
Possibly, or presumably you have enough coin that, and with the Titansmith you'd be able to make your way. Plus you have the mushroom, you could probably go buy yourself a potion or 2. Meanwhile, we get a shovel over in Ice Rod Cave, so we got 2 fetch quests to go. And Dracaris is doing the world tour with the frog, so let's see what's happened. Let's see what they can dig up.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense for Dracaris, since he hasn't been south of Kakariko yet. So whenever he goes back to turn in the frog, he can continue south and do these checks that everybody else is doing.
Oh, for sure. But it looks like we're gonna get our first check of Hype Cave. So Hype or Tripe? What are we thinking?
I'm expecting something good here.
I always expect low and be pleasantly surprised. So far, not much to look at. 2 little bits of love. Short... We get a lamp! Well...
it was something.
Since none of these runners really need it...
Well, a lot of the dark rooms are typically made easier by holding your sword out to light the way. I feel like the lamp is even increased further in value in Swordless.
So we have some ideas in chat that hammer... We're just trying to find where on earth it would be now. Chloe absolutely making that run, but wait, they don't have the fire rod just yet. So interesting play there.
We have the lamp, right? So that could be for Aga access, just to get to East Dark World. It'd say the flippers and the hammer were both over near the pot area.
Well, looks like Caladrius is doing the fake flipper glitch because they were farming some rupees to get that 500 to do the big fish. So we are going to get a Zorit check.
Yeah, it could definitely pay off.
We have a lot of divergence right now. We got Ken doing the Agina check. Dracaris bringing home the Smith. Chloe taking a death.
That was a death warp to get out of the back of Skullwoods.
Yeah, for sure. It just sounds more dramatic when you say taking a death. When you say, oh, they did it.
Chloe died! Oh no!
Thank you! It's all about the enthusiasm, man. Anyway. Hobo giving away his life savings. And so far, the hammer, oh my, that hammer is either mirror or book locked.
At least we know where it is.
So it's either the flute in the mirror, or it's going to be the book.
We got some silver arrows though on Sick Kid. Dracaris' routing paying off a little bit here.
Fair. Well, definitely that's more than just a quality of life thing. That's kind of necessary. Because I don't think we can do.
I mean, you can. You just don't want to.
Wait a minute. How can you be Ganon? Stage 4.
It's essentially the same thing as normal Silverless, except that instead of having this 30-frame spin to overlap with the 2-frame window, you have like hit Y during the 2-frame window.
So that's even worse because of the hitbox and everything else. Meanwhile, we do have Ether in the Waterfall Fairy Cave. And so
every time I've seen somebody do the Silverless hammer fight on Ganon, though, it takes like 5+ minutes just for phase 4.
Oh, that's just no fun.
There's a hook shot.
That's always a lovely find.
And that, with the hook shot, gives us access to absolutely nothing yet.
Yeah, yes it does. If we have a lamp and a hook shot, we have East Death Mountain in logic at that point. That's a big find.
No, the hook shot won't give us East Death Mountain. Oh yeah, East Death Mountain.
Absolutely, it gives us East Death Mountain. I might not be coy, but I do know my routing.
I thought you were saying East Darkworld access.
No, East Death Mountain. We know what we need for East Darkworld. And unless we can find the mirror and flute or that book, Aga 1 is still in play. So we do have Dracaris, though, making their way to the back of Skullwoods. Again, they do have that fire rod, so it makes absolute sense to do so. Meanwhile, we got Caladrius giving us our first look at the old man. And what's he hiding? Absolutely nothing. And that's why you live out in the out in East all by yourself and no one likes you.
Wow. The hard truths on the Sahasrahla guy.
Well, come on. $40 in blueberries? That's not even worth the trek. Now watch him, of course, be holding something very valuable with that green pendant.
Jakara's headed to the back of Skullwoods here. With that blue potion, he will be able to replenish his magic and actually kill Modula, but it's still going to be pretty tight.
And we got Caladrius doing the Eastern dip. Not a bad play that's early in the game. And looks like Ken following in Caladrius' footsteps, making their way over to... No, where are they headed now? Maybe to turn in that mushroom. We still haven't seen that check yet.
20 rupees from these stun traps. And Dracarys is gonna do it. He's going straight after Mothula here.
And we got Caladrius continuing. We got Chloe doing the Death Warp, getting out of Thieves Town. So far, nothing out of Eastern. Let's see what we get here. Well, it was 20 bucks to bring your mushroom to the witch. So
That Gibdo unfortunately blocking Dracarys' shot there. So he had to use one extra shot of magic. So this leaves him 2 shots of magic plus the 1 refill, so for a total of 10. And it takes 8 shots to kill Mothula. Oh, he gets 1 more magic, so he has 3 extra shots to kill Mothula with.
well, let's hope that Mothula stays away from those spikes.
Yeah, anytime he hits Mothula and Mothula goes into the spikes, the shot just does 0 damage, so he'll have to wait till it's off the top wall.
Just confirming we had nothing on Zora Ledge, so nothing to worry about over there. Oh, it's a tight fight right now for Dracarys, down to 2 hearts. The floor boss.
He had 2 shots.
Oh boy. Oh!
Nicely done. 1 shot remaining.
Well, it's much more fun when we're on the edge of their seat. Probably not for Dracarys, but they get their first crystal.
That was a very sick fight.
Was...
I can't say that I would have attempted that with 1 magic refill.
Well, props to Dracarys on that Mothula fight, everybody.
Sora is spitting out a bottle for a Link to the Past skin.
And speaking of putting on a great show, please do remember to give all 4 of our restreamers a follow. They are all very great runners, and they are putting on a phenomenal show for your entertainment this afternoon, or evening, or morning, depending where in the world you are. So we have links to their Twitch channels in chat, so please definitely do give them a follow.
Dracarys is the fake flipper here south of Link's house. This is specifically to turn in the mushroom, just a quicker way to get over here. We turned this in already, right?
Yes, we did. It was for 20 rupees. We didn't get much out of it.
Okay, so I would expect Dracarys to probably either go down to South Shore after this, or even more valuable, to go up the mountain.
Well, Dracarys, did they finish South Kakariko yet?
He did South Kakariko, but he hasn't been to South Shore.
Fair enough. Okay, so refilling on that blue potion. Can't blame the 1 bit. We got Chloe going to get their lamp. And we got Caladrius getting our first look at dig spot, where we're just digging up blueberries again. So a lot of bombs early in the game, not really helping us out too much. Link to the Past Ken about to get the same conclusion. And for those
looks like Dracarys is going to go up the mountain.
Absolutely the smart play at this point. With the Eastern not technically finishable, this is definitely the right play. And also we know we didn't find anything in Eastern worth having, so very smart play here. So for those just joining us, we are in a swordless seed, and we do know where Hammer is. It's on Desert Ledge, which means we're looking for either the Mirror and Flute or the Book. So the question is, Koi, how far can we go? How evil could we make this before finding those 2 items? Becomes a necessity.
You can get pretty far with no hammer, honestly.
Do you think we could be looking at a pedestal seed? No, Ice Palace is... Well, no, because Ice Palace is a pendant, so there's no way. It's not finishable.
Oh, you mean ped to get the hammer?
Yeah, had to get an item for
Oh yeah,
hammer
that
access.
that
Yeah,
can't. There are other items that could be on the pedestal though. Like the ice rod is always a concern.
so we do have Dracaris doing the Spectacle Rock hint check. We have Ken doing their Village of Outcasts check. And so we now know that there's nothing of value on the fire side of Mire, which is a great time save for us, assuming we can't go mode it. Now, someone in chat saying Magic Bat having Mirror. Unfortunately, I don't think that's really doable because we need either the. Well, I guess it could be if we can find the flute and the. Yeah, actually, we just need the flute at that point. But no, we also need a mirror in order to be able to get the hammer on Desert Ledge. So Magic Bat having mirror, very highly unlikely.
Chloe getting a little bodied by those dead rocks and the boulders. I got already down to 1 heart after just having turned the old man in. We'll have to walk inside and get a heal. Christ, meanwhile, in Paradox Cave, lots of checks here.
Nice old 7 checks, but 2 of them so far not being terribly helpful. Yeah, looking at chat, the bat could have the mirror as long as we get the book somewhere else. But right now, we're trying to get that hammer. Because unfortunately, a lot of our world is necessary with that hammer. Like, a lot of our world checks open up because of that. Meanwhile, Paradox not doing very much to help us.
Yeah, quite awful. We did find a few hearts, though, which, you know, is nice to have when you don't even have a hammer to protect yourself.
Fair. Or an armor upgrade, but we are rapidly running out of ideas here. Probably, Dracaris, we're going to get a Spiral Cave check, followed by a Super Bunny and Hookshot Cave check. And nothing on the floating island, so nice and quick, and nothing mirror lock there, even more importantly for all of our runners.
Swordless, bootless Spiral Cave.
I mean, at least we got the hook shot if we're really on point, but yeah, that's just a ball on no fun.
So, Light Death Mountain turned out to be a giant goose egg, not even one notable thing.
Oh, cash and love. But really, what else do you need in life? Oh wait, all the items. That's what you need in life.
Well, I mean, I'd settle for just the hammer.
At this point, yes.
I'm not greedy. Or sword if you got one.
Well, at least we can do a nice fast Super Bunny thanks to that hook shot. So we're running out of progression at this point, because without the boots, there's a lot of places we can't check. And without access to that hammer, there's not a lot we can do here. A whole lot of cash. There's our flute. Well, that opens up a little bit of fast travel. We got Mire's Shed, but we still need that mirror. So, Aga 1 for East Death Mountain. Sorry, for East Dark. See, you got me on this. East Dark World access. Still viable. And it's Ether for Turtle Rock today. Okay, first look at Hookshot Cave. There we go.
Alright, now Aga's dead.
Sorry, R.I.P. Aga baby. We hardly knew ye. Absolute saving quitting, no surprise. Going to definitely be activating that flute. I'm pretty sure Drac has seen the hammer. I'm pretty sure they did that check.
Well, even if he didn't, you know, like going into Tower Her at this point isn't really fun to do. Like you can't actually hit Moldorm with anything without that hammer.
You know, we got Caladrius doing the Death Warp. Well, this opens up a lot of the world. It opens up. Well, we've got a bottle, so if they can do the camera glitch, we can get a bunch of pod done. Pausing to listen to the national anthem of Hyrule. But the goose is loose, the duck is amuck. The Audubon is off the lawn. Come on, chat, you can do better than.
Yeah, the big places to go right now are Thieves Town and that other one. Words. Tower of Hera.
Hera's not bad. Pod, you could do a bunch of checks. It's a bit of a risky play, but it is possible.
Yeah, it's sequence breakable, but you know, like you're gonna want the bow eventually anyway. So like, it's not always like the highest priority to sequence break things that you want to find.
Fair enough.
If you get like stuck between doing like, okay, well I can do Graveyard Ledge or Pod, then yeah, you go Pod.
Oh, for sure. So we get our check of Mire Shed. We get our half magic, which is really nice, and what would have been a sword.
Jakara's his Master Sword now.
Well, Master Magic at the very least. But thankfully, at 31 minutes 44 seconds, someone finally has a hammer. Chloe releasing the bird, and Ken giving us a look at what's going on inside that purple chest.
Just some bombs. And Jakara's going into Desert Palace here. He can full clear this if it's not Boots Lock, which it isn't. Sweet extra crystal. And a good hint to boot.
To boot? Sorry, you can hit me later.
I don't think I understood why you were laughing.
Oh, you're talking about boots locked and to boot, and there you go. It was a stretch to begin with. Just let me be. It's Friday, for heaven's sakes. Meanwhile, Chloe getting their half magic. About to get their hammer, thank goodness. We also know that Misery Mire is Quake locked, so we have full access to our medallion locked dungeons. We are absolutely fine for this seed.
Where was Ether? Galadriel's the only one to have it.
Unfortunately, I usually have a page where I'm tracking my items. My printer's down, so I didn't print it out. Chat, if you want, yeah, it was Waterfall Fairy. That was it. So it was sequence broken. So technically speaking, Turtle Rock is flipper locked.
Sweet.
Since Swamp Palace is one of our is a crystal dungeon and one of our 5/6 crystals to boot, we are indeed still looking for the flippers anyway. Drakar is just steamrolling the back of desert. Make their way to Landmolus. Unfortunately, not able to do much with the bow strap because, man, those silver arrows would be really nice to have. But with half magic fire rod,
and even if the worst were to happen where he runs out of magic, which is never going to happen, he could kill Landmo with just the hammer as well.
Which does have the damage value of the tempered sword, so it's pretty brutal. Speaking of brutal, down goes Landmolus. 1, 2, 3.
Very good.
Absolutely flawless victory. Totally agreed. Link to the Paskin doing the dip into Eastern, unfortunately going to come up pretty short.
no item on land mode. Dracarys has to go back into the front of desert looking for that item.
Well, thankfully it won't be too far to find.
Usually a pretty reasonable gamble that he did, though. Like, he saw that the heart container was on the torch, so there's only one more item, and if it's on the boss, then he gets to skip all of this. But just not getting rewarded today.
Oh, and Caladrius getting bodied right before the old man. Did he make it? Oh dear, that is just unfortunate.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting thing to happen here. If you die with the old man following you, it doesn't act like a normal death. It always puts you back to where you picked up the old man. And until you turn him in, you are stuck.
Well, we have a blink and you miss a Chloe Prower fight on Landmolus. Nothing in Checkerboard Cave. But we have two runners with crystals at this point. We have Dracarys definitely in the lead, having completed Skull Woods already.
With the hammer now, with hammer and half magic, Chloe will have a much easier time fighting Mothula than Dracarys did.
True though, Dracarys did not have too bad a Mothula fight, even without the half magic. It was a beautiful fight.
Yeah, he had to try really hard though. Chloe will be able to just roll his face across the keyboard and Mothula will fall apart.
So interesting, even though they were on Death Mountain, opting not to bother with Hera, despite it being completely finishable.
Oh, I don't know if Chloe gets the keyboard, that's just an expression.
So it looks like Dracarys is probably going to go finish off the back part of Thieves Town. Chloe about to discover their heart piece inside of Checkerboard Cave. And we have a request for a face rolling tutorial, please.
Maybe later.
I can tell all of you in chat, if you aren't following Koi, you're not following nothing. Definitely also my co-commentator Koi, a phenomenal runner in his...
Dracarys kind of blows me away, honestly.
I'm doing the hype thing, man. You don't pop the balloon while it's inflating. Koi is always an excellent runner to watch. Definitely give him a follow as well. It's one of the best parts about the Link to the Past randomizer community. There's a lot of great runners and just a lot of great people. If you aren't on the Discord, if you aren't engaged with the runners, you really should. It's a wonderful place to be.
Yeah, I mean that's how I learned the game, was by watching these speed gaming streams and watching other runner streams. Like, oftentimes, like, you don't even know that you don't know how to do something until you see somebody do it, and you're like, how'd you do that?
Well, we did get a hint, by the way, that said that a unique item requires a hammer, which is great because we got it. We got Link to the Pastkin out of magic, but in the back, but trying to make their way through Skullwoods, I'm sorry. And it's going to be pretty tough for them without that hammer and without that half magic. We got Caladrius making the way to the top of Death Mountain. Chloe starting to do the big dip into Skullwoods. No surprise there, given the item loadout that they've got now.
That was a sexy little stairlight cancel from Dracarys there.
That was.
So, like, in the room with the spikes and the crystal switch, normally if you just hold down going through the room, the spike gets you every time. But if you do a little stairlight cancel by holding right for like just 1 or 2 frames and then holding down, you'll make it just in time to pass the spikes.
Now, I haven't been counting my items, Koi, in Thieves Town, but is there anything in that big chest?
Probably. I have no idea.
Well, I guess we'll find out very quickly. Dracaris giving us the new information of we have our ice rod.
Hey.
So we are a bow and a cane away and a flipper from Schrodinger's Go mode. For those who are wondering, Schrodinger's Go mode both is and is not Go mode at the same time because we have the one little sticky issue of that Ganon's Tower big key, which if it's on Bob's lamp, then we would be boots locked at that point, then the hunt for the boots would be on. So we have guesses that Cane of Samaria is on pedestal. Oh, I like the way you think, chat. I mean, we got two bosses going, Dracaris and Chloe. Chloe having a little trouble with aiming at Mothula. We got a quick hammer strat from Dracaris. And Chloe running out of magic here. Trying to use hammer strats, realizing, nope, I got a blue potion. I'll make my life a little bit better for myself.
Yeah, he was pretty low on hearts there.
Very good. Down goes the Moth. Caladria is finishing off their Dark World checks on Death Mountain. And Link to the Past, Ken taking a death.
Oh, we have the commentary restreams back. Oh, thank God.
Oh, we can tell you, for those wondering why we've been lagging, watching. Now we can see we got Dracaris doing a hammer pegs check, getting the cake. And thank you so much, by the way, to our behind-the-scenes people who work out all the weird tech stuff for us. We really appreciate all that hard work. We also have our trackers today. Sapphire and Oro, thank you both so much for helping us out.
Trying to commentate this without audio was like the most awkward thing.
Yeah,
I'm so happy to have my Link to the Past music back.
Big thank you to absolutely everybody who behind the scenes, our trackers, our tech crew. Everybody helps keep the lights on here. And we get our final medallion, which will be useless to us. But thanks, Bat.
Yeah, the main value of Bombas at this point is just like to have a easier cold stare fight, I guess. A boss we probably won't be seeing.
Now, an interesting thought. We're seeing this in chat. Bo could be in Ganon's Tower because there's nothing requiring it. Because both Eastern, like Eastern Palace, which is bow locked, is a pendant dungeon, and so is Pod.
Yeah, definitely possible for the bow to be all the way up in GT. Not the most likely thing to happen though, but it does give a lot of value to being able to mimic clip.
That's true. That would save us a lot of time, and also possibility. You know, Dracaris dragging their chest of bombs behind them, and moving it into Thieves Town.
I'm losing you, base beast.
Oh,
you're back now. You're good now.
Okay, that was odd.
Your internet was fluffing a little bit.
Oh, you hearing me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you sound fine now.
I never sound fine. My doctors tell me that, but no, I'm kidding. So we got Chloe heading up to the top of the attic in Thieves Town. We got Dracaris doing the hint for Swamp. What do we got? Unique item is in the dark. That sounds reasonably.
Palace of Darkness.
Yep. Gonna say that's a pod dip if I ever heard it.
There are a few different places that can count as being in the dark, but a lot of them are in pod. And this is actually Dracaris' first time doing South Shore, so he'll probably head over to Mini Moldorm Cave after this.
True, Dracarys with a very odd routing. I'm definitely going to ask them about that.
Yeah, it's pretty non-standard, but it's been efficient nonetheless.
Oh, for sure. They've completed more dungeons than anybody else. They've got great item logic of our restreamers right now. We have Ken. I couldn't tell if that was a death warp or just a death. But doing mini Moldorm Cave with hookshot infinitely better than bomb strats. Oh, Chloe about to get their ice rod. Badger is discovering that Hype Cave does not live up to it, outside of Lamb.
Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. I love it. So Jakar's gonna head over here to Ice Rod Cave. After this, I mean, I'd feel really pressured to go into pot at this point just because of that hint. But he can still do Tower of Hera as a crystal dungeon he can pull clear.
Yeah, the question, of course, being, would you want to maybe save Hera as your final dungeon for routing purposes?
I mean, it'd be nice to do that, but like you can't always count on that happening.
Looks like Dracarys is going to be digging up some bombs. We got Chloe doing hammer strats on blind. Kind of hard to follow script with hammer strats, but down goes the evil thief. Well, the other evil thief.
Who's the first one?
Ganon.
Alright, yeah.
He's sort of the OG thief dude. Remember, Ganondorf Dragmire, which means Ganon, King of Thieves. I read that instruction manual when I was 11. If only you see, I was going to save that for Meyer. Well, but we know there's nothing firelocked. You see, I have this wonderful, well, for me it's wonderful, I'm sure for chat they hate it. Every time we have to wait for 17 seconds, I do try to give you guys a little factoid about Link to the Past that I can dig up. Because there's an awful lot of information about this game. Well, taking your advice, Goy, Dracarys definitely making their way into Tower of Hera, for sure.
Yeah, it just makes sense, you know, like this is a crystal dungeon. I can full clear it. You can even grab Spike Cave while you're up here that he hasn't seen yet.
True, and with the cape, it is in logic.
And if by some miracle he finds King of Samaria up here, then he'd be able to full clear Turtle Rock as well. Well, he wouldn't, but if he had the Ether Medallion, he could. I'm not sure if he checked the medallion requirement for that. I would imagine he did.
And the unique item is in Ganon's tower, holding out hope for that bow.
God, that would be so mean.
I think you're mispronouncing awesome.
I know what I said.
We've got an idea in chat about boots in Ganon's tower and bow and bonk rocks. Again, if they've made their way up, these runners can do silverless Ganon hammer strats. They can do it. And Dracarys getting an important life lesson from that hint tile about when to consume sugar and when to consume fermented sugar.
Caladrius now having his hammer headed through Desert Palace.
Ken surviving the falling boulders because we've had a couple of our runners get taken down today.
Yeah, Ken's finally on track to make his way towards the hammer. He'll find the mirror up here on Death Mountain eventually.
Oh, good. Karis heading into Moldorm. Hammer strat's pretty easy to do. You don't get the protection of holding your sword out to prevent fall off from the ledge, but come on, this ain't too tough. Oh, and we get some. That's always nice. Regardless, it's I mean, these runners can handle it without it, but man, that quality of life. So,
Chloe, however, is headed over towards Palace of Darkness without that bow.
Well, looking at what's available. Well, sorry to interrupt, but looking what's available, that's probably the good play. We're gonna get our Spike Cave check here, but looking at accessible dungeons, Swamp is no-go. Ice Palace is no-go. Mire, you only get front side, you can't finish it. TR is no-go. Eastern is not finishable. We're probably looking at progression. Yeah, there's nothing in Spike. We're probably looking at progression in Pod.
Yeah, I think Dracarys will probably head over there next. It's just a very dense area, especially with the ability to sequence break it. So you can guarantee you can get at least 4 items.
And we also haven't had our pyramid check. We also haven't gone to Catfish, so we do have quite a number of places to look as well.
Dracarys is heading over to Flute Spot 5. This will be a pod play.
And we had Caladrius taking down Lanmola. Easy Fire Rod strats and you got the half magic. Link doing that Death Mountain cleanup. So we're just waiting on some progression potential here, and we got Chloe, who's going to be the first one to let us know what's going down.
Yes, Mimic Clips are currently super allowed. No rule against it. Mimic Clips being banned is a tournament-specific thing for the SG Live qualifiers that you see sometimes on these channels.
Which, if you're not watching, you really should, because the play in these. Well, first of all, some of the seeds that have been rolled for the qualifiers have been rather evil.
Like all
and
of
more
them.
Well, yes, a lot of them are. And more to the point, it's to also rank our runners for the SG Live event happening at the end of October near Washington, D.C., where I believe the top 3 qualifiers actually get some assistance in making it to the event. And I believe there's $3,000 up for grabs in this tournament. So definitely worth watching.
The minimum prize pool will be $3,000, and then it gets like subsidized by like merch sales and things like that.
So it's definitely worth checking out. We do get the book, which puts the top. There's the flippers. Now, interestingly, Chloe opting to get out. They might not have seen the hint about an item being in the dark. So yeah, I don't know.
He'll probably head over to Swamp next, and when he gets there, he'll find that hint.
And probably give us I'm hoping for a little bit of rage.
It's not necessarily a good unique item in the dark.
Well, what do we have left? I mean, it could be Cane of Burna. It's not one of our medallions. It's not going to be a sword. So it's not going to be. Well, definitely not going to be a sword. It's not going to be a shield because that's a progressive item. We know where both boomerangs are. That item could actually be pretty important. Because that's a pretty stacked pod if we've got 3 unique items in.
Looks like Dracarys is going to be making the same play, heading right on out. So the main thing here, like why they left, is just because the rest of the dungeon is bow locked, and they want the bow, right? So going out of your way to do checks that sequence break an item you want to have, not always the best course of action.
Wait, did they not have enough keys to make it to the back?
No, they didn't. They would have had to do the bow lock side. To get to
Oh,
the
yep.
back.
Yep, then there's no point.
They both could have sequence broke it. But I
But
mean,
at
like,
that-
I think the single arrow and the Cane of Burna are the two main ones that, the unique items that could be back there that we don't want to see.
True enough. Yeah, I guess the odds are pretty against you, especially when the thing you're hoping to find is bow. Boots would be quality of life / necessary for Bob's torch. So our current new information gatherer is Chloe making their way through swamp. Nothing so far. We're going to be getting our Bombo's tablet check. Money raining from the sky. I'm trying to remember, have we had a Cave 45 check?
I believe so. Yeah, I think Yukari did that on his way south with the purple chest.
Drakara is joining Chloe down in Swamp Palace. Ken making their way to Hookshot Cave. We got Caladrius taking down Moldorm. It's always fun when we've got great divergence. And while Chloe making their way to the south side of Swamp, gonna get our compass chest check. This is like the only chest I can really remember whether it's map or compass. For some reason, this is the only one. The rest of the time, if I fail out of my run and I just want to check the spoiler log and it says compass chest has a thing in a certain dungeon, I can never remember. It's been decades since I played the vanilla game.
It's rather amusing, like, how many of the spoiler location names refer to the vanilla contents of a chest, especially for maps and compasses, because, like, outside of, like, casual playthroughs, like, the most common way to play the game outside of Randomizer is, you know, no major glitches speedrun, where you don't pick up maps and compasses. So, like, unless you've done, like, the 100% item speedrun, like, why would you even know which is the map and which is the compass?
Well, exactly. And well, the other question is, do map and compass even count as items? 100% item?
Yeah, there's one of the speedrun categories is specifically to pick up all the maps and compasses in addition to everything else.
Oh, what a pain. I mean, what a wonderful time! Everyone should do that. I can't even convince myself. There's a big key, and considering we're still on the hunt for some items, we know that Chloe's probably going to be doing a west side swamp check, and that big key will help for that big chest for sure. So meanwhile, Caladrius is going to be giving us our first check at Pyramid. Ken getting their flute activated. What are we going to find on Pyramid Ledge? Think it's going to be bow?
No. Definitely not.
Just trying to be hopeful. Nah, it would have been a sword.
sword.
Well, we know 3 sword locations, everybody. Gotta love that useless info. Oh, and of course, our favorite fight in Swordless. We have the menu boss on Argus.
Chloe's trying to do double pulls here to save some menus. Having a little bit of trouble with it though.
Oh, this is the worst. What you're seeing here.
Fairly tedious, yes.
Almost as tedious as a silverless, swordless Ganon, but... Oh, interesting routing here. We've got Ken going down to Mire.
Yeah, definitely not the most efficient place he can go right now, but it's definitely a possibility for progression. Like a vanilla cane could absolutely turn the tide of this race.
Absolutely. We also have Caladrius making their way to Catfish here. And finally, we have Chloe having taken down all the R guys.
Oh, he's down to a heart, though. Don't die.
Do it. There we go. Well done, Chloe. A very patient fight. And Catfish, bribing us with $50 to leave him alone. Well, Ken realizing that maybe this wasn't the best idea after all, especially when I don't have a... Why hasn't he gotten the hammer when he's got mirror and can do Desert Ledge? That is really odd.
He does have the hammer.
Oh, he does?
I think he does.
Not according to...
Oh, he
chat.
doesn't?
No. Not according to chat or tracker. Oh boy, I don't know if Ken's checked Desert Ledge.
He'll do it after this, I'm sure.
Oh, we hope so.
Will he go back into Mire, though, now that he has a better way to kill the wizards?
No, still doing the checkerboard check.
And that's just a compass in the big chest. We have 2 items on left side swamp.
And Chloe remembering, don't flood the small key.
Well, he can't. He already spent the other key.
Oh, that's right, he did. Yeah, no, the number of times I've oops flooded. Yeah, Chad saying Ken was the first to check Desert Ledge. You'd think it would be a very high priority for them to make their way over, get that hammer.
Oh, it's like an hour ago. I can barely remember what happened 5 minutes ago.
Welcome to the daily swordless race. I'm the base beast. With me is Koi. Oh, I'm just kidding. Ken finally grabbing their hammer. Meanwhile, we're going to be getting our last of our new information. Chloe here. We got Caladrius making their way to the back of Skullwoods, armed with half magic and a fire rod and a hammer, so should be a quick fight. Man, what you're seeing on Chloe's side is why you want to avoid left side swamp. You really don't have to, because especially without boots, it's a long slog.
Will this contain our progression? First chest, no.
Just while they're making their way slowly, pointing out Caladrius is on Mothula here.
Swamp was empty.
Oh my! Remember that item in the back of Pod?
Well, Pod's still out of logic. However, Ice Palace is not out of logic at all.
Oh, Ice Palace always is gonna Ice Palace. It's the I've said it every time I've been on comm. It's the one place you don't want to go, and it's the one place you pretty much always have to. Because outside of Ether Tablet, what do we got? That wasn't rhetorical, by the way. Koi, what else do we actually have?
Mire.
And you really don't want to go there. We do know that Fireside Mire is pointless. It's got nothing.
It's pointless and has one of the 2 items as well. So there's only 1 item left in Mire, which could very well just be on the boss that we can't get to.
Exactly. Oh, this is beautifully, deliciously evil. We still also haven't had our ped check.
Oh, we can do Pyramid Fairy? Oh yeah, we can do Pyramid Fairy too.
That's true. We have finished Swamp, and we have finished Skullwoods, our 5/6 crystals.
I think this will be Jakaris' first look at the pyramid. He'll probably walk up to Catfish after this as well.
Not gonna get much, but little reimbursement for the big pink bomb. So you have either an Ice Palace dip, or we hold out hope for that pedestal. Well, I guess we'll find out right quick here. Chloe going the vanilla route to go to Hobo. You almost never see that anymore.
The vanilla route?
There's our bow 5-6 locked. The vanilla route, meaning actually using the mirror instead of a fake flipper. You pretty much almost always see people fake flippering or real flippering. You almost never see anybody using this mirror spot.
Jakaris will head directly to Catfish. Oh, I thought he'd go into Pod after that with the unique item in the Dark Hand. But I guess like if you didn't do Catfish right now, you just orphan it completely and will never come back over here. So like as far as like efficiency goes, this makes sense for him.
For sure, and we're still looking. We're only one item away from probable go mode at this point.
Yeah, and that cane is most likely in the back of Palace of Darkness at this point.
Well, hopefully Dracaris will give us a look fairly soon.
Poor Chloe did not do the Pyramid Fairy, opting to do those flipper checks instead.
It's really easy to say woulda, coulda, shoulda when you're on this side of the screen. We have Ken having a little trouble with that, with some of the patterning here on Lanmolas.
Lanmo's hard, okay?
Oh no, please, are you kidding me? Anybody being on our restream is worthy of absolute respect and a follow. For sure. Ken taking down Lanmo, grabbing their crystal. We got Dracaris, who actually hasn't done the Zord check yet. We got Caladrius finally getting to the back of Thieves Town. So we got a good amount of diversions. No new information yet until somebody makes their way into the back of Pod. Well, Chloe getting their ether, so they've got full access to Turtle Rock. Well, access to the entrance of Turtle Rock anyway.
If Jakar says anything other than go to Pod, I'm very confused.
There's also the back of Eastern, and it is a green pendant. So there is that remote possibility if we don't find a progression item in the back of Pod.
Yeah.
I'm just assuming the worst here. Worst or best?
Will Chloe now do the Pyramid Fairy checks?
We'll see where they flute.
Oh, he's going to the Tower of Hera.
Well, I guess can't really blame them. It's an easy check. It's a fast dungeon.
Yeah, unfortunately, we already saw this from Dracaris, and there was nothing here. And Dracaris is going straight back to Palace of Darkness. Unique item in the dark. Let's go.
And I love the double dip to the unnecessary dungeon. Now, theoretically, had they done Pyramid Fairy first, we would not have had to win, given the items that we knew about at the time.
Yeah, I mean, like they could have sequence rope to the back of Pod and gotten the assuming that the cane is here and gotten the cane out of the logic, but then they'd still be looking for that bow.
Just to point out, Chloe doing the ether tablet check, getting a whole whack of cash, but not much else. We got Caladrius doing hammer strats on blind. We got Dracaris valiantly marching to the back of pod. And Ken making their way through Skull Woods.
A compass requires the hammer. Interesting. No, wait, the other thing. Tedious.
Well, maybe one of them is a completionist. Well, man with those silver arrows, mimic rooms being nothing but a joke.
I laugh in the face of mimics.
I'd run away really frightened, actually, I think, if I met one of them. Because that's like, wait a minute, why are you walking opposite me and trying to kill me? So, meanwhile, we got 2 keys from our mimic side check. We're all watching Dracaris' screen right now just because that's where the progression is likely going to be. Or we're on a wild goose chase if all we find is the Cane of Burna. Or boots, for that matter. Personally, I vote for pain and suffering. Well, no bomb yump from Dracaris.
Yeah, there's no real value in doing the hammer jump in this particular situation.
Oh, it's the swag. Come on, there's always room for swag. Well, our dark item not there. So it must be in our dark maze. And meanwhile, we had a blink and you miss it hammer strat from Chloe Prower, getting their armor upgrade and another crystal. Caladrius
I
exploring.
hope it's just the boots.
Boots or cane would absolutely make my afternoon.
I feel like the boots are more likely to be found back here.
Well, it's got to be in the next chest because it's found in the dark.
I think the big chest counts as in the dark, right?
Does it? No,
Sure.
there it
there's
is.
the cane.
There's our cane. At 1 hour, 12 minutes, and 38 seconds, Dracaris is in Schrodinger's go mode.
Yeah, there is a very small chance that the big key for Gannon Tower is on Bob's torch in GT, which would hard require the boots. But, you know, it's unlikely, right? Right?
3 words, my friend. Boots on ped.
Why would you say that? Like you just put that out there in the ether. The game can hear you, man. Yeah, boots are likely in GT. Like we found a unique item in GT hint that is, you know,
Burna.
greater than
Burna,
zero
baby.
chance of being red boots.
Burna, baby. Oh, I would be so happy for an Oops All Dungeon seed. This would just be so beautiful. Having a little tricky time here with the opening room, but down to 2 hearts. That was scary.
That was a rough wizard.
But a very fortuitous fairy, and we are good to go.
Well, now we can't do spooky though.
That's
Rip spooky.
Oh well, can't win them all. It's either that or die.
I think I might choose to die. I like.
Oh.
And we have Godmode Meyer. when we're actually in go mode. This is rarely seen.
And since we know there's nothing on Fireside for sure, it's a very safe play. Grabbing a key here and yoink. Very quick to the back of Meyer, not even bothering with the magic refill. I guess with silvers, who cares?
Yeah, it's not really concerned.
Yes, yeah, I'm a little too scared to go into the back without enough. I don't know. I like to keep my levels higher. Meanwhile, let's take a look. We got Chloe on their way to going to get their cane, doing their dip to pod. Chloe having turned in that 5-6 crystal combo for Pyramid Fairy, getting their bow. And sorry, RAP Spooky, but making our way. We are Caladrius realizing it's a Godmire 2 on their way to make Viddy Viddles. Going for the extra. Wait a second, Caladrius does not have Cane.
No, he made a big gamble coming into Meyer at this point.
Oh, that is, as we say far too often on this, that is unfortunate.
Yeah, basically the only way this can pay off for Caladrius is if the boots are in here and also required.
But unless they're in that big chest, because we know there's nothing on the Fireside. But we got Dracaris, who's going to make their way right quick over to Turtle Rock. And yeah, we're making our way here.
Making our way downtown. Chloe's not like impossibly behind or anything, but Dracaris does have a pretty good lead right now.
For sure, and I'm reminding here that unfortunately, yes, Berna was found on Hylia Island. That still means boots could be... No, boots are going to mean GT. There's no other unique item locations left. So we know that Ped is dead.
But boots don't have to be in GT. They're likely in GT.
Well, no, we know there's a unique item in Get.
We haven't seen the single arrow though, right?
Oh, yes. Wait a minute, if that single arrow is... Oh, you mean Hope is alive?
Yeah, it's like a sliver, maybe like 1 in a million.
I've got everything that's crossable across for this now.
Base piece. I set you up for the Dumb and Dumber reference, and you give me nothing. I'm so
I set you up for Badger Mushroom. Now we're even.
I feel like Dumb and Dumber is a much more universally accepted pop culture reference.
Oh, you want me to just say, so there's still a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance.
See, do you know how long it's been since I've seen that movie, man? Oh, man, now you're making me feel old.
I live my life by that movie. Jim Carrey is my spirit guide.
So I'm gonna just figure out a way to get out of. Let's get back into Turtle Rock actions. Completely embarrass myself about Dumb.
Chloe, unfortunately, getting bodied by the murdered Echo on his way to Meyer, so he will not have sword beams for the upcoming Meyer 2.
Oh,
I couldn't even get through it. I started laughing.
I'm just more disappointed that it's not either, so we can't do a bird toss. That's the only part that makes me sad. Bird toss for life. Meanwhile, we got 2 keys and a big key, so it is possible to get to avoid laser bridge here if the key routing works out. Now it's a big if, but it is doable. We've got Caladrius making their way as far as they can in pod. Wondering if they're going to do potion, if we're going to get potion glitch or not. We're going to get mimic glitch here. And unfortunately, looking like the key routing not working out in our favor this time to skip laser. So here's the other question for you, Koi. Assuming we don't find boots, well, since we know the boots are not going to be findable here in GT, or very highly unlikely, do we do a left side check immediately to check on Bob's torch? Just to close the door on that forever?
No, the boots are likely to be in GT.
That's what I'm saying. So do we do a Bob's torch? Do we do a left side check first?
No, I don't think you change your routing. It's okay. Most strategies check Bob's torch early anyway. So I don't think there's no real reason to change your routing for this.
I've been watching a lot of runners lately doing a right side check. I don't know if it's just some sort of fad, but it has been happening.
Like the main routings are like the Hope route where you check Hope Room and then go full left. The Pink and Dark Magicians where you would check Stalfus Room, which would check Bob's torch first. And then the Hybrid route is like the slowest to find their way to Bob's torch. And even then, they just do Hope Room and Compass Room and then go there. So unless somebody decides to go full right, which you almost never see, we'll get an early-ish Bob's torch check.
I dare you to say that 10 times fast at some other point, because we did find red mail in the big chest here in TR. Can't do the boot dash into the wall, so gotta spend the bomb. And Ken getting stuck in the wall, unfortunately, making their way towards the old man's hut, where he's hoarding absolutely nothing. Thanks for nothing, Sahasrara. Oh, just going to pick up some extra safety hearts here.
Don't die, Chloe.
Oh, okay. Chloe's too good for Viddy to die.
Well, when you're so confident in not dying, that's when you die the most often, right?
Well, today is not a good day to die.
Nothing feels worse than accidentally dying during the Silver's Vitreous fight.
So we will have our laser bridge check. Let's see what we find. We got a compass. 50 bucks. Well, there's the Trinex key. Not even bothering to check the last chest. Like you said, we still haven't found that single arrow yet. And I don't think we've seen the single rupee either.
Oh, well, there's actually 2 single rupees, so they won't.
Oh, so that's not unique. Ah. See, I've gotten bitten enough by it that it feels unique to get destroyed. Meanwhile, we got Dracaris on their way to do hammer strats on Trinex. Tough playing that menu game because you can't do anything while the head's blown up. Beautifully timed. Now using the fire rod on Binex, making their way through.
Binex.
Down goes Binex. Now we fight Uninex and off we go.
Binex.
Oh yeah, going from Trinex to Binex to Uninex with way too many explosions. Oh, You see, Koi, when you're running and I get to calm you, you don't get to hear half my fun.
I never listen back to the commentaries, so I'm always afraid people are saying mean things about me.
Oh, never. We don't say mean about any of our because anybody who's going to be on our restream, we applaud you, we love you, and we thank you.
Well,
But
as
you
a
know-
commentator myself, I know sometimes I say mean things about the runners.
Well, meanwhile, you know what else I love, Koi? Integers. Do you?
Integers. Only up to 22. Everything after that is like completely pointless. I don't even understand why their numbers that high.
Well, let's explain what we're talking about. As we approach Gannon Tower, there are 22 possible locations for Gannon Tower Big Key. Get your guesses in chat now from 1 through 22. Integers only, please. Koi, where do you think it is?
What is an integer exactly?
A counting number. So no decimal places, just numbers you count.
Oh, okay. So whole numbers. All right.
So, Koi, what's your guess? We're running out of time.
1.
Well, if that's Bob's torch, you're
I
messed.
could-
I'm saying 16. Here we go. Guesses off.
And Jakaris will be going to the left side first. Magician
And-
strats here.
Are we in go mode? Yes, we are.
Go mode.
A boots not required seed. Ped 100% dead diddly dead like Ned Flanders' wife. It's so sad. Oh, come on. This happened years ago.
Look at unique item in GT.
There we go. So our boots are... Oh, this is painfully beautiful. And we got our Dark Magician strats. We're up to number 5 on our checks. There's no way it's too soon. That was a decade ago. Don't even. Number 6, blue. Number 7, key. And we're doing the full right here. And if you're saying 2 decades in chat, you're making me feel extra old today. Thank you so much.
I don't even know what we're referencing.
You don't watch The Simpsons. Oh.
Oh, did you make a Simpsons reference? I missed it.
Ned Flanders never... I'm just not going to make any references anymore. No one understands me.
You missed my Dumb and Dumber reference, and I feel really bad.
Oh, don't feel bad. That's just my ignorance today. So we're going to check number 8. Nothing. Number 9. 10. 11.
And Jakaris will be mirroring after getting this small key here.
That's
We
right.
call this. This isn't exactly Dark Magician. We call this Pink Magician because of how it makes you feel deep down inside.
Pink is always such a strong color. 7. Aggressively so. So just while we're getting some new chests, quick update on our other runners. Galadrius going through Swamp, Chloe and TR. Link to the past Ken. Looks like they're heading into Swamp now too. And we have 12 is our big key. That would be check number 12. And let's see in chat, we have... Do we have anybody? Well, yes, I see one of us. See, there's earlier. No, I'm going to probably butcher this, but Swordless, congratulations. You are our winner today. Your prize, if you go to ALTTPR.com, and you can win all the rando seeds you ever want for the rest of your days. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
GG.
And Maud Flanders died in 2000? That was not... Wow.
Oh, don't say things like that. That's just... Oh.
That was...
19 years ago. How
That
old
was-
am I?
That was like half a lifetime ago. I am so sad.
I'm not even that old, man, but now I feel old.
Well, So we've got the fogey commentators happening today.
I'm only 31.
I'm
Come on.
38, man. It's literally half a lifetime ago. We have Dracarys going to get that magic refill as we try to pick our dignity up off the floor and make our way into the gauntlet. No surprise for that magic refill because absent a really nice sword, hammer strats and silvers and fire rods are the order of the day, with the occasional pot.
Actually, using pots in the gauntlet is actually super powerful. All these enemies will die to a single pot. And there's like a ton in all of those rooms.
You know, a little bit of trouble on that slippery surface, but not too bad. Getting out that ice rod for the last room. There we go. Yeah, that's really tough without a sword to help you navigate. Ignoring the anti-fairy, going straight to land mode 2. We have 1. Oh no! 1 and 2. Can we recover? Not in time.
Wow, Dracarys. What happened? What happened, buddy?
If I can quote a certain runner named Koi, Landmolis is hard.
Landmo is hard, okay, especially when you don't have boots to light up those arrow shots.
And now the most satisfying room in the game. Bam! There you go.
Oh, Chloe unfortunately taking a walk into Trinex's head there. This is going to put him a little bit off kilter for finishing off this fight. Half magic does help a ton, though.
And we're 2 necks down to 1. And we got Dracarys continuing with their way. We got our torch room here. I don't know what it was about this room that Dracarys is in. This was the room that for some reason it took forever for me to be able to do quickly. It just feels way too precise for its own good.
It's actually kind of tight to light the far right torch like that first. Like maybe like half the time I do the right torch first, I end up just falling off or getting hit by the fire bar or something. And it became so frustrating that I just gave up on it and accepted my 2-second time loss and just started lighting the top torch first.
Well, we got Dracarys seeing if maybe we can find that unique item along the way. Perfect fairy, perfect magic refill, a little bit of love. Let's see if we're going to be trolled by the worm. We got Chloe now heading towards GT. That's 1, that's 2. Come on, you can do this. That's 3. Dracarys not bothering to hover.
I mean,
I'm just saying. For the same reason we didn't have sword beams for the Wizrobe room. So here's the question then, what was on pedestal? Could it have been the boots?
I mean, it could be, I guess. Probably 20 rupees, though.
So Dracarys in to do a math lesson. With the Swagnet strats.
Yeah, unfortunately no item dashing without those boots either, so you have to actually try here.
And if you've never done Swagnet, man, it is rough.
Yeah, it's really awkward because the bugnet takes a lot longer to completely circle around Link compared to like a sword. So the direction you're facing actually makes a big difference with the timing.
Yeah, it's an obnoxious fight. Thankfully, with red mail, we've got a lot of protection. I think we got 4 hits, if my count is right. Nope, we had 5. So that's 6. And here comes Transparent Flying Bat Pig. And our duck.
Chloe not doing full right. Nobody does full right. Except for me. It has paid off exactly one time, by the way, going full right.
I was gonna ask. And did you know the biggest and heaviest cheese weighed over 57,000 pounds? Well, that explains why you look the way you do, Cannon.
So with no sword to speak of, the hammer has been modified to be able to harm Ganon. It does tempered sword damage, so it's 12 hits, 12 hits, 4 hits, and 12 hits.
And that hammer, that hitbox for the hammer, a little bit tricky, and Dracaris down to 3 hearts has to be a little more careful here.
24 hits.
Yeah,
it's really nerve-wracking to do this with the hammer.
Yeah, I'm just holding my breath, especially with that health count. Oh, down to 1. Oh, we got a blue potion. Thank goodness.
When he was in that corner, like if he accidentally took like one extra step too far, he just walked directly into Ganon.
Oh my, well we're down to... And Ganon being very kind with the teleports for the first 2. Let's see if I spoke too soon. Oh no! Yep, I spoke too soon because that resets the whole fight. Oh, and having just spent that blue potion, that is most unfortunate. I think Dracaris has a couple extra. I think he stocked up.
I do not recall.
Well, I remember when he turned in the mushroom.
Yeah, I remember him buying potions. I just don't remember if he bought more than the 1.
He bought 2 or 3, I'm pretty sure. So I'm not too concerned at this point. But, you know, another fall or 2 by accident, and we may have a race again. Let's just take a quick gander where everybody else is now. We got Ken making the way through Swamp. We got Chloe quickly making the way through the gauntlet. We got Caladrius getting the last item they need out of Pod. So some of our runners getting really trolled by this seed.
Yeah, Dracaris ended up having like the best route through the game. Well, with that very early Dark World dip, getting him the quickest way to the hammer.
Oh, absolutely.
But on top of that, just like his general execution has been very much on point right up until he fell again. Poor guy.
Oh, I mean, listen, it happens to absolutely everybody.
Some more than others, it's true.
So let us see. We did not get Torch Glitch, I'm afraid. But we got a triple. Wow! That was beautiful. Get those GGs in chat for Dracaris. Just have to make their way across the bridge.
Making bacon.
Very nice. As soon as they complete that treacherous walk, we can tell you that Dracaris has finished in first place today in our daily with an official SRL time of 1 hour 38 minutes and 43 seconds. And actually, Dracaris improved their PB by almost 21 minutes.
It's kind of surprising, actually.
That is phenomenal. Big time GG's in chat for that. Let's see. In the meantime, let's see if we can get Dracaris here in the commentator's booth. Meanwhile, while we're just waiting for Dracaris to come in, we've got Chloe making their way through.
Yeah, Chloe is showing everybody why I like to light the top torch first. This is exactly the situation I found myself in way too many times.
So meanwhile, we got Caladrius making the way to the back of Mire. Ken just finishing up Swamp. We're just seeing if Dracaris can make it into the commentator's booth. And there we go. We do indeed. Joining us in the commentators, we have Dracaris. GG's.
GG, what a seed.
I was a little surprised to learn that your fastest Swordless race until now has been just barely sub 2.
Yeah, apparently I don't play Swordless a lot.
Because it's horrible! You did a fantastic job, though.
Yeah, my route worked out really well with like the mids already in escape, and then went straight for the Dark World and got my lamp, hook shot, which led to the flute and the mirror, and then I got the hammer, which is like the quality of life item you just want to have in Swordless. And everything from there on just worked out, I think.
Yeah, we were really surprised by the very, very fast move into Dark World. Not really a play we see a lot. Can you tell me why? Like, I mean, it worked out beautifully. Great.
Yeah, you split up the CAC checks, which is something I don't think I've ever seen before.
Yeah, I was like, I have the mids already. I can grab the smith. Let's just do the north CAC checks and then save and quit and walk to the smith from the south to do the rest. And since I found the fire rod, I went into Skullwoods afterwards. And yeah, then the seed basically just told me where to go anyway with the items it gave me.
If it was a little nicer seed, you might have been able to like skip South Shore completely. Unfortunately, you did end up having to do those checks eventually. Yeah,
at some point you just don't want to skip Sphere 1 forever. At some point you just go back for them.
It would have felt really bad though, like if you like do mini Moldorm Cave at an hour in and oh look, the boots. Fortunately, nobody found the boots ever anywhere.
Yeah, they are probably deeper in GT with the unique item hint for GT.
Well, we found the single arrow, so we're thinking that might be it.
Oh yeah, that's right, the single arrow was in Dark Magician's room.
Alright, true, there was a unique item. It could still be the boots. I don't know, maybe they're just an ice pellets, who knows?
Who knows? Yeah, nobody's made their way into Ice Palace this seed at all. So when you were in Palace of Darkness, did you consider sequence breaking it?
No.
Because you had the hint for the item in the dark.
Yeah, but I already had gotten the powder from the old man, which, as far as I know, also counts. So I was like, yeah, maybe this hint is fulfilled already. So I was like, yeah, the bow might be in GT with Easton and Pod being pennants, so it's probably not worth it sequence breaking it, but then it was back in Pod anyway.
And gentlemen, you can absolutely keep talking. I just wanted to interrupt to let everyone know that Chloe Prower is on Ganon as we speak. But we got the whole fight to go through, so please do feel free to expound on this really kind of odd seed.
That was a pretty nice seed, honestly. Like nothing in Eastern, nothing in Ice, and Podhead, all this stuff.
Yeah, apart from the required Pod double dip, this was pretty kind of linear actually, I think.
See, I'm used to getting trolled by Ice Palace.
That's why I never go there.
Exactly. Oh, and we had Chloe down to 1 heart. Does have a blue potion. We're into the teleportation. Yeah, you have to know, Drive. Our hearts broke at the Ganon fall. It just absolutely broke.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. I just walked into the hole.
Oh, because, man, that PB. The woulda, coulda, shoulda. I mean, congratulations again on it by nearly 21 minutes. That's huge.
Yeah, I think this was my, like, second or third Swordless standard race with those options, so I'm not that surprised that it's a PB.
Well, it's still great to see when good things happen to good runners. So we have Chloe, just to let you know, pulling off the double. Oh, only able to get the single hit on Gen in that time. But one more and we're good to go.
Oh no!
Oh no! Taking the Ganon fall on the last. Oh, that hurts.
Yeah, Chloe was walking up like he was going to do an upswing, but then changed his mind at the last second to do a sideways swing, which gives him a lot more room to hit him. But unfortunately, walking around Ganon gave it just a little bit too much time, and he was able to shoot that fire bat off.
Oh, that's 2 Ganon falls today.
We'll see more, don't worry.
That's true. So Dracaris, any other thoughts on the seed or Swordless in general?
It's nice for a change every once in a while, but I don't like Swordless simply for the fact that you have to menu so much, especially in Swamp Palace.
Oh, yeah, the menu boss is the worst boss. And, oh, interestingly, on Link to the Past Ken's side, we did get a pedestal check, and it was, in fact, the B bottle. So, Ped most definitely, definitively, absolutely, positively dead. And, oh my, Chloe down to 1 heart in the Ganon fight. I don't think they have any more potions. Oh no! And Chloe taking the death! And we have a game over, folks. Oh, but Chloe jumping right back in. Oh, I don't know if after the Ganon fall and the quick death, I don't know. I would probably risk the extra 1 minute time loss and go grab a potion from the witch's hut.
Chloe still has tons of magic, can employ the Cape and Burna to make it through the intermissions just a little safer. It's just you kind of need Ganon to cooperate and give you like anything but bottom right positioning.
And looks like Ken, he's missing his ice rod and his ether, and unfortunately going to full clear Eastern it looks like, which won't give him much. And we got Caladrius here, making the way through Turtle Rock. Oh, Chloe taking the hit, getting down to 2 hearts. And takes another death. Koi, would you go off and get some potion at this point? And looks like that is exactly what Chloe's going to be doing. So while Chloe is going off, let's update you with some of our other finishers here. We have Edium finishing in 2nd place with an official SRL time of 1 hour 46:38. And we have a tie! It's a tie for 2nd, with Sonicam finishing in 2nd as well with exactly the same 1 hour 46 and 38 seconds, and also pointing out that Sonicam improved their PB by over 8.5 minutes. So GG's to Edium and Sonicam. And we got Chloe making their way back, armed with some equipment, gonna make their way through.
Wait, did he go get potions?
Yes.
Oh, he must have walked into a guard or something. Or did he just not talk to the potion shop girl?
I don't think he talked to anybody. I think he just went in, grabbed him, fluted back.
It's a little weird.
And meanwhile, while that's happening again, Caladria is making their way through TR, almost at Trinex. And Ken, just unfortunately with the routing decisions, not going the way he needs to be going. So as a reminder, Dracaris was first place. Chat just wanted to confirm that. Dracaris was first place of all the racers this afternoon. Meanwhile, Chloe... Are they out of potions again? No. Oh, thank goodness. I don't think my heart could take it. We're almost finished phase 3 of the Ganon fight. Will we get a torch glitch? Oh, unfortunately missing it by a hair. No, we won't. Let's see what kind of silver attacks we can get today. Oh, we got a double.
I think he might have been able to get a triple there. He would have had to do an upswing with the hammer, though.
Stay to the side, Chloe.
There he goes.
Oh, and as we can collectively exhale, get those GGs in chat for Chloe Prower.
GG.
And Chloe Prower finishing in 5th place with an SRL time of 1:51:44. Immediately before that, we had Hydropower 78 finishing in 4th place with an official SRL time of 1 hour 49:55. Also, Chloe improved their PB by over 28.5 minutes. So great double GGs for Chloe Prower, who I believe just joined us in the commentators booth.
Hi, GG's.
GG's. Well, yeah, except for those Ganon falls.
Oh
Great
my god,
run
that
for
was
you.
awful. Way to stumble over the finish line there. I think I would have been second overall if I had, not terribly fallen on the very last arrow.
Yeah, it would have been a lot closer.
Oh well, it happens.
That's sort of the standard
I was
for you.
like very slightly holding the right or the left arrow at the time. And when you get hit by the fire bats, you go the opposite direction of whatever direction you're holding.
No, but as we were talking about with Dracaris here, who finished here, fairly linear seed overall.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, well, I don't know, the back of, pod was bow lock, so it depends on when you went to Pyramid Fairy to get your bow.
Well, did you ever consider sequence breaking it?
I did, I mean, but I got those hints that said there was a unique item in Ganon's Tower and the Dark Room. And, neither of those could be bow. Or, well, the Ganon's Tower one could be bow, but the pod one couldn't. So, that was interesting.
No, for sure, having that double dip, having to double dip pod it seemed to be the only major stumbling block for a lot of the runners that we've seen.
Yeah, I mean, if I had gone to air and gotten the potion first, I probably would have broken in the back first of pod. But I didn't, so.
No, but definitely overall your routing was really. So other than the Ganon fight, what other do you have?
I didn't like the gloves and Moon Pearl so early because it made me think that a lot of value was going to be in Dark World. I'm glad that it wasn't, but Like, I mean, I know. What was it? Hookshot and Lamp ended up being. Hookshot ended up being in like Skullwoods, and then Lamp ended up being in Hype Cave, which dragged you up to Death Mountain. Which Death Mountain was empty too, which was weird.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate, actually. And I mean,
Actually, no, I lied. Flute and Mirror were up there. But the light side Death Mountain was crap.
yeah, no, you had to make your way to Super Bunny and Hookshot and whatnot. But no, it was really unusual to have a large dearth of just nothing.
Yeah, it made you jump to quite a few hoops to get to your hammer in this seed.
I was very glad when Hammer just kind of like appeared. It was sitting there out in the open. I can't see how you could have gotten it much faster than going up and getting the Flute Mirror combo. You could have fake flippered over into Pod, but that would have been kind of weird.
So just to quickly add, do have another finisher here. It looks like Gamer Bob has finished in 6th place with an SRL time of 1 hour 54:27. You know, it was overall a pretty straightforward seed, but you're right, like getting those Titans mitts, there was actually a lot of questioning given that we also got Swagnet pretty early, whether this is going to be Naga 1 or 2.
Yeah, I mean, I guess flippers were over in Pod. If Hammer was, if like we didn't have access to Flute or Mirror, it would have been an Agassi.
Yeah,
by
no,
logic.
Well, and we got the cape fairly early too. It was one of those looking at what was given to us going, oh man.
Yeah, because right side Dark World we didn't have a lot of access to.
No, not for a long time, for sure. But no, GG's. I mean, you like I said, outside of the big pig giving you a little bit of a headache, that was a really solid run. And again, congratulations on improving PB by a really substantial margin too.
I mostly think that's just because I haven't done Swordless in a long time.
Yeah, Drakara said the same thing too. But darn it, we're trying to puff you up here. Come on.
I appreciate it. I am happy about the sub 2 sword. So Swordless can do some terrible things to you. This one wasn't awful. It didn't have you do any really obnoxious bosses. Like, I was half expecting Misery Miter could have been something on Biddy without the bow, and that would have been just terrible.
Well, like I said, you definitely did a great bit of execution. Sub 2 is always fantastic in these seeds, so definitely big GG's to you. So just to get everyone caught up here with our 2 remaining restreamers, we got making their way through the gauntlet, and Link to the Past Ken. Looks like they're making their way up to Tower of Hera now. Ken having a little bit of trouble figuring out exactly where to go next because they do not yet have their Ice Rod or Cane of Samaria. So that's where we're getting a bit of the block there.
Yeah, Ken unfortunately has 4 more crystals to go finish before he can get to GT.
But while we're in GT, we got Caladrius taking down. Having a little bit of trouble with the Lanmolas fight here. All of our runners seem to be not digging Lanmolas today.
Yeah, the common setup for Silver's Lambo is to use a Bonk on the top wall to line up your positioning for those first 2 shots. And without the boots, you just kind of have to eyeball it, which is not always the easiest thing in the world.
Oh no, there is no easy way to deal with it when you don't have the boots. Meanwhile, we get the rooms that are significantly harder. And looks like we have We have Ken making the way to TR. Looks like. Hopefully, maybe hoping for something with the something with a hint. Let's see what Ken decides to do here.
Well, he doesn't have a cane, so he won't be able to go into TR. I'm not entirely sure why he entered the dark hole here.
Yeah, this is just unfortunate.
He's already been up to these areas. Like he got the.
And well, what's kind of infuriating as a watcher here, as an observer, is that he hasn't finished Thieves Town. Excuse me, Thieves Town, which is completely clearable. And if only he would go there, then he would get his ice rod down in the big chest and get that progression. Right? And then do that dip of pod to get Kane and Samaria, they'd be in go mode.
Yeah, he's right on the cusp of being in go mode.
Yeah, it's always frustrating because you just want to go to their channel and say, dude, did you check this?
Go to the places with the things.
The things that you can fully do that aren't a problem. And hopefully, speaking of not a problem, we've got Caladrius taking on Trolldorm. 3 hits and down they go. So they're gonna make their way up to their Aga fight, doing their trigonometry battle. Opting to try to use the cape strats, let go of the cape that little bit too early. Oh, there we go. Just squeezing through the baby Dino Kitty. And sad that I couldn't talk about Helmsor King today. Of all the things you get to lose.
One more Bugnet Aga.
Oh, with a nice little double smack to the jaw. You got a single red ball there. Oh, a beautiful double. One more hit and we're... Did I miscount?
The first
Must
two counted as a single hit.
Oh, unfortunate.
Close together.
Well, while we're finishing off this Aga 2 fight, let's just give everyone a quick reminder that at the end of October, the 24th to 27th, we are going to have our first live in-person speedrunning event in Herndon, Virginia, with a minimum prize pool of $3,000 for our Link to the Past Rando tournament, which is going to be incredible. We've had some qualifier races running, which we highly encourage you to watch because, man, those seeds have been trolling.
The SG Live event actually will have lots of different tournaments for many different games. I know there's one for Ocarina of Time, but you know, I don't really pay attention to anything beyond A Link to the Past because it is the greatest game of all time.
Well, I believe there's also going to be a Super Metroid randomizer, possibly a combo, I think. So I know there's lots to do and enjoy at the event. So if you can make it down, it's a good idea. Our top 3 qualifiers, by the way, are going to have some assistance to make their way down. So these qualifiers aren't just for seeding, but potentially for some cash as well. And while we were giving that little promo, we've got Caladrius doing the Ganon fight here. 2 blue potions, no big deal. While that's happening, we got Ken.
Bottom right is by far the hardest position to hammer Ganon in.
Oh, that is unfortunate.
Yeah, the torch in the bottom right when he sits over there is exactly where you would want to stand to hammer him safely.
just poke my head in here. We do have another finisher here. Looks like Ravis 10 is finished in 7th place with an official SRL time of 1 hour 57:36. GG's. And Caladrius not having a lot of fun with phase 3 here. Coy, do you want to chat about this one? Because, man,
Well,
Gen's just not
because of
cooperating.
the way the hammer works, like the hammer doesn't hit directly in front of you of the way you're facing. It's like off to the side a little bit. So when Ganon's on the bottom, it's easier to hammer him safely from below him. And Caladrius keeps trying to do it from the right side, which is a lot tighter to avoid walking into that ring of fire bats. But he made it through phase 2. He still has some hearts left. That's all you need, 1 heart.
Are you trying to say all you need is love?
Well, a little bit, anyway. Unfortunately, a little slow on that hit there. We spawned the ring of bats.
And Ken, by the way, took a fall on Moldorm. Their Tower of Hera battle. So meanwhile, we got Caladrius having gotten Torch Glitch, saving a lot of time, a lot of magic. Just going for the single arrow at a time to keep it safe, not wanting to fall off. 2 of them.
Everybody keeps doing that where they walk below him and then try to cut the corner around.
Oh, you can't do that! Oh! Oh no, Caladrius, you're down
don't
to
walk
2.
into it.
Oh, come on, buddy, you got this. Oh no, misses with the silver. Oh, just holding our breath.
There you go, there you go.
Come on, you got this. One more. Do they remember they have another blue potion? They do have a second one.
Oh, I thought he drank that one already.
Did he already? I thought he still had one. Oh, this hopefully is it.
They stop in the middle of the room for an easy final shot. Down goes Ganon.
Just have to cross the hardest 3x1 tiles in the game. And looks like Caladrius has finished in 8th place with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 8 minutes, and 2 seconds. And unfortunately, it looks like Link to the Past Ken has decided not to continue in the race. And I can't blame them when you're feeling a little lost on where things are. So GG's to Caladrius, GG's to Ken for being on our restream for sure. Let's see if we can get one or both of them in for a chat.
Welcome, Caladrius.
Hello, GG's.
GG.
So that was my first Swordless race.
Is it your new favorite game mode?
Well, I did better than the last time I was restreamed with a sword.
Can't argue with that.
So yeah, pretty nice, except that I left pod early. And then I immediately went into swamp and got the hint, like, there's a unique item in a dark room. Well, that's probably pod.
Well, we're also joined here by Link to the Past Ken. GG's to you too for being on our restream.
GG's.
I just needed Kane. That's all I needed. Where the heck was it?
Palace of Darkness.
In Dark Maze.
I almost went there, but it was a pendant.
So Caladrius, the routing, walk us through.
Let's see. What did I do again?
Kind of a little bit everywhere. Pod was stacked, of course, but we had
Yeah.
incredibly early Dark World access, finding the Titan's myths
Oh,
by
yeah.
the end of Escape, and Moon Pearl right.
Having Moon Pearl. Yeah.
Yeah, like you
I
had
was really
Dark
happy
World
with that.
right away. Well, really happy or really scary, because that does open up an awful lot of the world for you right off the bat.
I was at least glad I didn't have to do a Swordless Aga Tower. And yeah, I could, of course, first do my regular light roll checks. And early hookshot in Skullwood, which I was really glad to see. And I was also happy I dipped out of the Thieves Town without a hammer, since if I just put blind in the boss room and went back with a hammer, I would have been in for a nasty surprise.
Oh, yes, you would have. So, Ken, same question to you, by the way. Early game, early access to Dark World. Your thoughts on the routing?
Well, when I saw that the hammer was on desert, I wasn't very happy. And when I found the flute in the mirror on a dark mountain, I bombed those chests.
Well, unfortunately, Light World, Dark Death Mountain, not helping us all that much. The progression was all on the dark side of
Luckily, we could go there immediately. Seeing as we had the Titansmiths when we went there.
Well, the lamp was hiding.
Well, Lamp was in Hype Cave, so that early Dark World access with the myths was, if you were lucky enough to make your way to Hype, that is where the Lamp was.
Yeah, Hype Cave is like it's insanely out of the way to get there until you do have that hammer. So for the hammer to be logically locked behind Hype Cave is very uncomfortable.
Yeah, I always had Hype Cave in the back of my mind. And when I found the flute on Death Mountain, I just knew, alright, the lamp is in logic somewhere. So my first thoughts went out to Hype Cave as well for that one.
I was just hoping that Kane wasn't on pedestal.
No, we had a few ideas of what might have been on pedestal. We might have said a few evil ideas while you guys were playing. Something about Bo being there, something
well, that's what chat's for.
Oh, absolutely. But no, GG's to all of you on even doing Swordless. It's such a tricky thing to pull off.
Well, I knew Bo couldn't be pedestal because Eastern was a pendant.
And Pod as well.
That's true. That's before we realized where all the pendants were. We were just hypothesizing of what would be the worst thing to find.
Of course. I was like, I know there's one item in Ganon's Tower, one in a dark room, and one I'm still missing. So I figured it's either Bo or Boots in GT, and I was just praying it wasn't Bo. That would have been nasty.
And it was neither. It was actually the single arrow.
Was that a unique item in GT?
It was in the Stalfos room.
Yeah, we actually never found the boots. They could still be in GT somewhere else. But it could also just be like on Helmosaur King for all I know.
Whatever.
Yeah, they didn't even end up mattering.
I probably won't do another hammer thing until I practice more.
Listen, GG's for you for even being on the restream for this Swordless run, Ken. That's huge, and we're really grateful that you're here.
I found it really fun to play. I'll probably be doing some more of this in the future.
Oh, that'd be great, and we look forward to having you on the stream.
You can have all my Swordless seats.
Sure, just put them in a nice little zip and send them over.
So we'll wrap up our afternoon daily for now. Again, GG's to all the runners. Let me just do a quick check to see if anyone else has completed
I think I
Not
was the
at
last
this.
one.
Yep, it looks like anybody, all's aboard who's gonna be aboard. So I am the base beast, and Koi, I hand it off to you for the last word today.
Just thank you so much to our runners, Dracaris, Chloe Prower, Caladrius, and A Link to the Past, Ken. Thank you guys so much for putting yourselves out there, being on a race train, giving us something to watch this afternoon. Of course, thank you to our trackers who have names, I'm sure. Sapphire and Oro. That's who it was. Thanks, guys. And thank you to Twitch chat for, giving us a reason to do this. We could not do this without you guys. But I think that's going to be it for me. So have a good night, everybody. Basically, say good night.
Oh, I'm happy to say good night to everyone as well. Just a reminder, your tweets, your follows, your bids, everything helps keep the lights on here at the Speed Gaming Network. All the best to everybody. We'll see you next time.